What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Val and welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about 5 things that you will deal with when you're set apart. All right. So if you see me looking down, I'm just simply looking down on my list because I don't want to forget anything. All right. So when you're set apart, you may deal with having to be the black sheep. You may feel like you're the black sheep in your family, in your friend group. You may feel like you're the black sheep at work. Sometimes it feels like you're the black sheep no matter where you go, right? And when you're the black sheep, you feel like the outcast. You feel like you're the odd one out, right? And you feel like you're treated differently than everybody else. And sometimes this makes you feel worthless, right? You may ask yourself, why am I constantly being treated differently than everybody else? Why is it me, right? Why is it me out of everybody else? Why am I the one that's being outcasted, right? So if you're the black sheep in your family, you may feel like you're treated differently. They may make you feel like, you're disowned. They may disown you and disregard you completely. They outcast you. They treat you completely differently, right? And not in a good way. So when you're the black sheep, you may feel like you're alone at times. You may feel like you're isolated. You may feel like you have nobody in your corner that you can relate to. So when you're set apart, oftentimes you will be the black sheep, right? And especially in your family. And sometimes it makes you feel like, why is it me, right? Like, why am I the one that's being targeted? Why is it me out of everybody in my family that's being treated like this? Why am I the one that's being outcasted, right? So there's something special about you. Some of you have been dealing with this since you were a child, right? Since you were a child, you were being outcasted. Since you were a child, you were being treated differently in your family, right? For no reason at all. It's just you. You're the one that's targeted. You're the one that's being treated differently for some reason, right? You didn't do anything, but for some reason, it's like you're the one that's the black sheep. But there's a reason for that. You were called to be set apart. You were called to be different. You're the black sheep for a reason. You're not meant to blend in, right? Even though it can feel very lonely and you feel like you don't have anybody in your corner, there's a reason for that, right? You wasn't meant to blend in. You were called to be set apart. You were called to be set apart for a reason. So when you're set apart, you will deal with having to be the black sheep. All right. So another thing that you will deal with when you're set apart is being misunderstood. And this kind of goes hand in hand with being the black sheep, right? You feel like you're constantly being misunderstood. You feel like people just don't get you, right? Sometimes people don't take the time to get to know you. Sometimes people misunderstand you on purpose, right? Sometimes people project negative traits on you for no reason at all, right? So there's something special about you. They see that you're different. They see that you have the light, right? And some people, they can see it. So they treat you differently on purpose, right? They try to trigger you. They want to challenge you, right? And sometimes people, they just constantly, they're judging you, right? They don't take the time to get to know you. Sometimes they already made up in their mind that they got you all figured out when they don't, right? Sometimes you have people watching you from the sideline, trying to study you, trying to watch you from the sideline, trying to figure you out because they see that you're different. They see that you're set apart. They see that there's something special about this person. So they try to sit from the sideline and try to figure you out, try to point their finger on what's making you different, right? So sometimes when you're set apart, you will deal with having to be misunderstood a lot, right? So if you feel like you're constantly being misunderstood, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, right? You're not meant to blend in. You're not meant to look like everybody else. You don't need people to understand you. People don't need to figure you out and try to, figure what's so special about this person. That's none of their business, right? Let them watch from the sideline. If they want to sit there and try to study you, let them. Let them. So another thing that you will face when you're set apart is having to deal with a lot of hate. Sometimes you deal with unwanted hate. Sometimes you're completely blindsided by all the hate that you have to deal with, right? You may deal with hate from family, frenemies, right? outsiders, strangers, you will deal with hate, right? For no reason at all. For no reason at all. People will hate you. People will be jealous of you, envious of you for the smallest things. They simply just don't like you. The amount of hate that you deal with is on another level, right? I'm talking about hate to the point where you may even get death threats. People want to take you out. People spreading rumors about you, lies about you, right? Just hateful things. You have friends and family who you thought were in your corner, who you thought were supporting you, but in reality, they're not. In reality, they're secret haters. They're watching you from the sideline plotting, right? So when you're set apart, you will deal with a lot of hate. Sometimes you're completely blindsided by the amount of hate that you're dealing with. And sometimes you're blindsided by who the hate is coming from, right? Sometimes it's somebody that could have been your best friend for 20 years. Sometimes it's just the person that you least expected, right? So when you're set apart, you will deal with a lot of hate. So another challenge that you may face when you're set apart is defamation of character. The same people who hate you, who misunderstand you, right? Who treat you like the black sheep, those are the same ones who would spread lies about you, project negative traits on you, spread rumors about you, right? And they want to ruin you. They want to ruin your character. They want to challenge you, right? They want to do everything in their power to try to take you down, right? So you will deal with the defamation of character when you're set apart. People will spread lies about you, just create these stories out of nowhere, right? Just completely making things up about you that's not true at all and just spreading it around. So that way people can, have these false and negative things about you in their mind, right? They don't want people getting close to you. They don't want people getting to know you, right? So they're projecting these negative traits about you around town, spreading these false lies so that way people can get closer to the light. And lastly, when you're set apart, you will deal with spiritual attacks. All right. So things like, defamation of character, people spreading lies about you, the hate, feeling like you're the black sheep all the time. A lot of times, those things are spiritual attacks, right? And sometimes the enemy is just using these people as a vessel to try to get to you, to try to challenge you, to try to take you down, right? So sometimes he's just using these people. He's using your family, your friends, these strangers, right? He's using these people as a vessel to try to take you down because you're a threat. You're a threat to his kingdom, right? So when you're set apart, you will deal with spiritual attacks. Sometimes these attacks come out of nowhere. Sometimes it's nonstop, right? So sometimes you have to look at the spirit behind these people that's doing these things to you, right? Sometimes it's not them, right? You have to look at it spiritually. You have to look at the spirit that's operating behind these people that's making them treat you this way. That's making them spread lies about you. That's making them hate you for no reason. That's making them treat you like an outcast all the time. So you will deal with spiritual attacks. So you have to make sure that you have the full armor of God on. All right. So I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you found it useful, and I will see you guys in the next video.